So,
So,
a very good
good
evening
evening
to
to us.
us.
Today
Today we
we
are
are
here
here
uh,
for
for
our
our
fourth
fourth
session,
session,
and
and yes, today we are at the fourth session of understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. We have already covered three sessions for this course as of now, and what we can say is we are completing one third of the course as of today. So that is a kind of an accomplishment for us. We have been seeing that a lot of learners had been attending these sessions in the past, although the numbers, have decreased down as we have proceeded from session one till now. But I think the essential and the baseline idea is that even if you are unable to attend a session, you must go through the course content and you should be able to submit the assignments due in the given timeline, in the given deadline. And if you have any queries, if you have any doubts, you are free to join these problem solving sessions. In case you are unable to join them, then also you have the flexibility of going through these content whenever you have the luxury of time. So that facility is also available to you. Right. So let's just wait for a while and we'll be starting the session. Let's see if one or two members can join in, and then we will be proceeding the session. Okay. Meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll put my screen on share. All right. So we are here today for this particular session. Uh, I hope I am audible. If anyone can please tell me if I am audible and my screen is visible or not. Anyone, if you can please confirm if I'm audible and my screen is visible. For a confirmation, I think it is audible. Let me just check once the system. Yes. So the screen is visible, audio mic is set, and the system is recording. That's perfect. All right. So let's begin with our session today, the week four. The course is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. We have already covered 3 weeks up till now, and today we are here at the fourth week, at the one third journey of our 12-week journey. It's uh, it's good to see that we have covered this much of instance as of now. The course name is, as I mentioned, Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The course instructor is Professor V.K. Chakrabarti sir, who is from IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay. And today we are here at the week four of the session. My name is Abhishek, and let me quickly brief you about myself. I am an architect and industrial designer from School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. After that, I worked in different companies ranging from IT giant Infosys, having more than lakhs of employees, and then coming to a smaller design studio called Think Design. Now it has been grown into a multi-city office. Apart from that, I started my own startup, or you can say a company, wherein I was working as a senior designer and co-founder and a director of that company. We are primarily into the upcycling and design consultancy. And after that, I also started part-time teaching and then became a full-fledged design educator. And it happened that I realized that I need to do some more of study. I need to get back into my student mode. That's where I decided to pursue my doctoral journey. So currently, I am a research scholar at Indian Institute of Technology at Roorkee. It's in Haridwar, Uttarakhand. And I am basically pursuing my PhD journey from Department of Design. So that's a brief profile of me. And in past, I've taken this course as well and have certain experiences in learning, and that experiences has helped me design and develop these course content. So let's begin with our journey today. All right. So the live sessions are here to help you in the current run, of course, which means that every week there is a content. Every week there is a content, and you need to go through the content, and you have to attempt the assignments, the week-wise assignments. All right. What we also do is we discuss and solve week-specific assignment. This is important because whatever week's content is being disclosed, we pick that particular content and we discuss set of 10 questions. And these questions are other than the live assignment because live assignments are there to assess you. It's basically to evaluate you, right? Because you are getting certain marks from it. However, what we discuss is something which is relevant to that particular course. However, these are different from the live assignments. Okay, so there is a bifurcation, there is a difference between it. We also respond to the questions and queries that's there. If you have any questions, we respond to it. If you are discussing a set of 10 questions, and in that we try to address and give the solution along with the content recap. So we try to validate the answers which are given, right? And then the content recap of ongoing week. So this basically gives a overall glimpse of the content covered. Now, this is basically added from my past experience because I have seen that many a times the learners didn't have time to go through the assignment and even the content. So the idea was to give them a brief overview of what has been covered in this particular course so that even if you are joining the live session, you are able to go through the brief summary of the content so that you can actually attempt the set of 10 questions. So it's an added effort on my part, but then I believe it will surely help all the learners. So we have a quick recap, which is basically a snapshot journey, you can say, wherein I basically take screenshots of the major contents, major instances, and present it in a PPT flow so that you are able to go through the content. And then we discuss the set of questions. All right. Great. So in this whole live sessions, we expect everyone to keep their mic on mute. Uh, the idea is that we are basically recording the session, and to avoid any kind of unnecessary noise disturbances, we request uh, all our participants to please follow this. However, when you are asked to respond to a question, especially the set of 10 questions, you can unmute yourself and you can speak. So that is there. Also, if you have any query, you want to say something, you want to clarify your doubt, you are free to unmute and share your concerns. So that is perfectly fine. We'll address those questions. And even if you have a hesitation of speaking or there is some kind of internet issue, you can post the question at two places. One is the discussion forum, and the other is your Google Meet chat. All right. However, I would suggest you to please use discussion forum instead of this. But if there is something immediate, you can also utilize this. Why we say discussion forum? Because of its capability of addressing a wider audience. Why I say wider audience? Because it includes different kinds of people. It includes all the learners for this particular course who have enrolled. It includes members from the NPTEL team, and it includes me, who is basically a TA for this course and who is conducting the live sessions to help you all in terms of understanding this content. All right. This is basically how your screen looks when you do a login. And you can see various heads here. And all these heads are very, very crucial, especially the first three and four. So in the announcement section, you get notified for all important updates critical for this course. For example, you will get notification regarding the problem solving session. You might also get notifications regarding your examinations, your admit cards, right? And as well as, the deadlines for that particular week-wise assignment, right? So it's always good to have a visit on the announcement section. About the course is the section wherein you get all the week-wise content. So from a content standpoint, it is important that you visit this very frequently. Just give me a minute. I will basically check if we have learners. We have just one learner as of now, but that's fine. Then you have asked a question functionality, which I've already talked in my previous sessions, but as we follow a protocol slide deck, so this basically leads you to the discussion forum. Then you have got the progress tab where you can actually see your unit wise, week wise progress. The idea is to help you assess your development in this course, kind of understanding you have got and how you have been able to perform, right? So this particular left pane is the area which is important. If you have not yet registered for the course, you can do it by clicking here, and your entire course content is displayed here. All right, week wise. Okay. Now, all our recordings of the sessions are available on my YouTube channel. It is basically a mandate by the NPTEL team. So all these sessions are recorded and are uploaded to this channel so that whenever you get time, you can actually visit these sessions for your better understanding, or if there was a time limitation or you had some kind of engagement you were not able to perform or you were not able to give time to the live session, you can visit the recorded session. Likewise, the set of 10 questions and the entire PPT deck is also uploaded as annotated PDFs. So by annotated PDFs, we mean that all these scribblings which we are doing, it gets recorded in the PDF and you can actually download it. These are the links for YouTube and Drive. Now, it is also accessible in your portal. If you see the left tab and if you go down, at the end you will see problem solving session. When you click here, it will lead you to another page. It will ask you to click here. And then it will lead you to a spreadsheet. Okay. And in this particular spreadsheet, you have week-wise YouTube links. You have a drive which contains the PDF, and then you have some information related to those present in the meeting. This is basically the outcome. Okay. So no need to worry about these links. You can easily access the clickable part, the clickable spreadsheet, and you can, visit the YouTube link, the drive, and all the other information. Now coming on to the course preview. The course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The instructor is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir, who is from the IDC School of Design at IIT Bombay. He also heads the TIC, which is Design Innovation Center. He's also helping Mahindra University as of now to set up their design school. The overall course run is 12 weeks and the deadline for assignment 4 is 21st of August. So it's basically tomorrow. So by any chance, if you have not done it, please do it critically by tomorrow. All right. The final exam date is 26th of October. It will be either in the pre-lunch or the post-lunch. So there are 2 slots available. And in your admit card, you will get the information about which slots, center, venue, timings, and other necessary stuff. What we'll also do is we'll do one extra session just before your final exam. And we'll try to cover some important pointers so that you are well aware, well prepared about your final exam, right? So it might be just 1 hour session, but then we will be doing it for your benefit so that you will go and appear your examination in a much more informed and a better way. Because from my experience, I have seen that, many times when you are visiting for a physical examination for the very first time, there is always some nervousness, there is always some kind of curiosity, and then you are going to a different school altogether, a different location, and you might be going there for the very first time. So there are certain things to keep in mind, and we'll be covering that in our extra session. So this basically shows your progress tab, how you have been progressing week-wise. So it includes unit-wise progress, the kind of lessons you have already gone through, and how well you have been submitting your assignments. Other than that, you also get a section which shows your marks for the submitted assignments whose deadline is over. So the assignments in which the deadline is still open, you won't get the marks for that because NPTEL gives you the flexibility of submitting it multiple number of times till the deadline is over. Okay, so that's again a very important functionality wherein you can actually submit your assignment. You can relook, you revisit the content, and then resubmit those questions so that you can get better marks in your interviews. All right. So this course is free to learn. All right. You don't have to pay anything to learn from it. However, if you need a certificate, then you have to do a registration. The last date for registration was August 16, which has been extended to August 23. This was notified through email by NPTEL team. So just in case you have not received the mail, please go through your inbox once again, go through the spam folder. Maybe you are receiving your mails there. And even if it is not coming there, you please check the announcement section. All right. So that's important. So these exams have a fee of 1,000. However, there is some late fee if you submit it later. So I would suggest that if you are appearing and attending these sessions from credit requirement of your college, please register for the exam as soon as possible. All right, please do it. Going further, criteria to get a certificate. Now, this is an important head. I always give substantial time on this particular thing. So let's understand it. Okay. So all the week-wise assignments, those can be termed as internals. Okay. So from week 1 to week 12, you are getting 12 assignments. However, NPTEL will collect and consider the best 8 of them for calculation of marks for your internal marking. Okay. So overall weightage will be 25%. External is something which you will have to appear physically. So it will be conducted in physical mode. And the weightage of that is 75%. And this overall gives you your marking of 100%. Now, this also comes with a condition of marking. So, just a second. So, in the internals, you need to score more than or equal to 10 out of 25. Here, you have to score more than equal to 30 out of 75. So that eventually your overall score is more than equal to 40 out of 100. Now, let's take three scenarios to understand, what can be tricky to you in terms of marks calculation. So, for example, here you scored 20 out of 25. Here you scored 25 out of 75. Your overall score is 45 out of 100. So you are meeting this criteria, you are meeting this criteria, but you are not meeting this criteria. So you will not get a certificate. All right. Now let's take another example. For example, you scored 5 out of 25. Here you scored 55 out of 75. Your overall score is 60 out of 100. You are meeting this criteria, you are meeting this criteria, but you are not meeting this criteria. So again, you will not get a certificate. Okay. So it's very important that you take your internals equally important as your externals so that you meet the criteria and you get the certificate. So it's very, very critical from a certificate perspective. So I believe this part is clear. If anybody has any doubt, you can please raise your hand. You can unmute yourself and then you can ask the question. That's perfectly fine for me. We are there to help you. All right. Moving forward. Okay. So this has been a brief overview of the course. Week one started with the introduction, which talked about entrepreneurship, who are entrepreneurs, what do they do. Then the GDC Center, STEM colleges, the reasons why startups fail, what are the mistakes of the startups, and then a couple of examples. This was followed by week two, which was about hand holding for entrepreneurship. It included a panel discussion of these three members and the journey of Mustafa from the ID company, which made better. This was followed by week three, which talked about methodology for innovation. This included seven concerns from what Professor V.K. Chakravarti calls seven C's, followed by team building and problem statement. And then week four, which is the current week or week specific content. It basically comprises of the ideas program by DSAC IIT Bombay, the solar oven case study by Mr. Avinash, and then there is a discussion of IIT Hyderabad's MTech students from the customer discovery angle. Along with that, you have additional learning materials, ALM, Steve Blank customer discovery and the great discovery. So it's in a PDF form, while the other two are videos. So if you have time, you have interest, you want to know more, please visit them. Okay. So by far, if you have been submitting the assignments regularly, these are the two typology of questions. One with a circular shaped box, also called as review button, means there is single correct answer, while the other one, which is from in a checkbox format, is basically where you can have multi correct answers. So which paratha, what paratha you want, I can select only one. Maybe I'll select I want aloo paratha. However, what do you want in your burger? Either I can select one, two, or I can select all of them, or I can select three of them. Okay. So that's the two typology of questions. However, the questions can be also asked and fill in the blanks mode. However, it will use one of these tools, strategies. All right. Now, another important slide, which is regarding the marking of the multiple choice questions. Again, in the previous few, tutorship, I've realized that many of the students had queries, how are we getting marked? And that's where this is very, very important. So take a time to read all these three questions. Meanwhile, I'll help you explain with one of the scenarios. Okay, so my question is Roorkee is located in. Okay. Now here the correct answers are Haridwar and Uttarakhand because Haridwar is the district and Uttarakhand is the state. Okay. So it is just for example. I mean, no need to get into the understanding the standardization of the questionnaire. Let's try to understand the question and what we are talking about. So if all options chosen by the students are correct and no incorrect answer has been chosen, then full marks. Okay. So according to scenario one, if I select one and two and submit, I get full marks. In scenario two, if at least one incorrect answer has been chosen, then no marks. So, say for example, I select one, two, and three, I won't get any marks because I've chosen the wrong one. And then one with three, if only correct answers are chosen, but not all correct answers are chosen. So, for example, if I select one and I submit, I get partial marks. Or if I select two and submit, I'll also get partial marks. So if you're getting marks in decimal for any particular question, that could mean that you have been given partial marking because you did not select all the correct answers. All right. So please understand this basic criteria. All right. Now these were the top GMeet learners of the previous week. If you see, these people have attended more than 1 hour, around 1 hour 30 minutes. They were here on the session. This included Aradhana Das, Nangroi Pare, Jairaj Ganesh Bhave and Shantanu Ramesh Pagar and then Abhishek. So well done. You have been quite there and you have been patient in terms of the content. So that's great from your end. So let's do a content recap. Uh, the ideas program. This is basically the week-wise content, and we'll just quickly follow and tell in a snapshot journey what all has been covered. So if you remember ideas program and the SSC, which basically is Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship. And these are all the individuals who have been a part of DSSC at IIT Bombay. And here you have Dr. Love Sareem, who has basically been the main member in this particular week's content. He basically evaluated great suggestions to the various IT Hyderabad and the students and their propositions. So Dr. Love Sareem, he is an IT Bombay alumni. He joined DSLC in 2018. He had a rich experience in these particular domains. Then we also showed and understood, you know, Avinash's work on Solar One. He was an MDes student and then he joined DSSC to work on his Solar One project. This basically is one of the prototype of Solar One in which Festival of Innovation. This was held in Delhi. And then they have the Ideas program, wherein these people came together to start an Ideas program wherein they could help the startup in ideas. And this talks about the inventor syndrome. It's basically Dr. Love Salim talks about it. Then he made it clear that we need to ask the right questions. So this basically questions is from the context of Solar Aman, that instead of going and asking the users directly about solar cooking and the use of solar cookers, it's important to ask the right questions. What are the right questions? So how do you cook? What do you cook? What do you use for cooking? What is the daily routine and what are the other cooking options? Right. So basically what they are trying to say is that instead of, having leading questions, go for basic questions and try to derive value from it. Okay. So instead of asking questions around, have you used solar cooker? Do you have solar cooker? How frequently do you use solar cooker? It's better to start with, how do you cook? What do you cook? What do you use for cooking? What is the daily routine and what are the cooking options? Okay. So slowly you will understand that, whether people are even having solar cooking as an option or not, and, how frequently they use it. Then it was about defining the user and the customer. So let's say, toys for babies. Let's take that. So maybe there's a rattle. Rattle is the one which you can hold by hand, and it makes some noise. All right. Now, if you see, the customer is the one who basically pays for it. So in our case, it will be the parents or the one who is buying it. However, the user will be the babies, the kids who will be using the product. All right. So this clarity is very important, that who are your customers and who are your consumer users. Okay. So once you have this clarity, then you can, go ahead and, further deep dive into, what you're developing, what you're trying to propose, and then you can have better outreach strategies to, leverage, what people you want, what people you want, in this particular outreach strategies. And then he talked about, having the user segments, customer segments. So in the context of SolarOne, we identified two of them. One was the low income group, which were basically in the rural area. These were the farmers, the daily wage workers, who didn't had much of an option. And then there was the middle income group, small towns. These were basically salary professionals, small businessmen. So for a solar urban standpoint, he identified that these are the two user groups or the customer groups where they will try to pitch the solar urban. Yeah. So, like in the previous slide, we asked about defining user and customer, and that's how they have, pinpointed and narrowed down that, these are the groups which they will be targeting from this particular case of Sunaravan. Right. Now, if you remember, this was the low income group he's referring to from the rural area. So see the kind of, hardships they have in terms of having the cooking fuel. They're still relying on wood as a fuel. They have to go to forest. They have might be possibility they have to cut down certain things, or they get broken branches of the tree, and then they have to carry it on their heads. Right. So I think these challenges are there, which which needs to be sorted, which needs to be addressed. Right. Then comes the channels. through which channels do our customer segments want to be reached. So, what do you mean by channel? The way or the mode you will reach the customer segments. So, remember in the customer segment, we identified two groups. One was the low income, and the other one was the middle income group. And how do you reach those groups is basically through these channels. Okay. So once you have your channels identified, it becomes easier to reach the customer segments. So just try to follow the process. The first one was, defining your customer segment, and then you are trying to reach them out. How? Through these channels. So one is direct distribution or sale. So you can set up a shop, or you can use existing vendors and put your product in there so that user can come and you can directly purchase. Then you have got Krishi Vigyan Kendras in the villages which can be leveraged. Then you have GOI schemes for renewable energy. And then institutes and NGOs working in rural development and renewable energy and sustainable technologies. So these were the four channels they identified for reaching out to the customer segments of lower income group, which was their first one, and the middle income groups. Okay. Now comes the customer relationship part. How will we get, keep and grow customers? Okay. यानी कि हमें कस्टमर्स मिलेंगे कैसे, हम कैसे उनको रिटेन कर सकते हैं और कैसे अपने कस्टमर्स को बढ़ा सकते हैं. ठीक है. सो सो ऑल दीज आर इम्पोर्टेंट. आपको कस्टमर्स मिलेंगे कैसे, आप कैसे उनको रिटेन करेंगे सो दैट दे डोंट गो और फॉलो, एंड देन हाउ विल यू ग्रो कस्टमर्स. So these were the options: solar cooking demos at food festivals and food exhibitions. So many times there are food festivals and various food stalls that get displayed in the festival. So it's a very great area. Where foodies are coming and they are trying to taste the food, but at the same time, if you have cooking demos from solar cooker, I think solar oven, it would be a great pitch to all those people. Then comes solar cooking recipes, cooking shows with Khana Khazana. So you loop in a celebrity. So this is very contextual, wherein Sanjeev Kapoor is a renowned chef, and then you are making cooking recipes from solar oven. So that is again way of getting the customers. Social media can actually help you retain and grow customers. Okay, because in Instagram and YouTube, if you show reels, and upload it, solar cooking, all this will help connecting with Mahila Mandals. Mahila Graha Udyog. Okay, so that will again be helpful because if you see, if you just go and see the Vijay Papad, it was again a Mahila Graha Udyog setup. And it started with a very small and then grew amazingly big. Right? Going forward, customer relationship. Now, once you understand your customers, you will realize that today a lot of people carry mobile phones. And in mobile phones, I think even the smartphones at very budget price have been made available. A lot of people use extensively the WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram. All these are available. Even you still have a great following for Facebook, by the way. Okay. So you can actually reach out to new customers, retain them through these particular channels, and even you can get there, right? Okay. Going forward. Revenue model and pricing. How do we make money? So to have a sustainable business, it's important that we make money. You try and solve a problem, but then making money is equally important. What's the revenue model and what are the pricing tactics? Okay, so they identified direct product sale, which we have already discussed, bulk order from government distributors, organizations, social scheme. So now you can get bulk orders. Bulk orders का मतलब होता है mass में, in a huge numbers. So not one into maybe 100 pieces, 200, 500, 1,000. Then you distribute as a pilot to some villages. And you see the impact and then you elaborate, you widen your customer base. Government subsidies for eco-friendly products. So you also already see that, in the EV segment, there is a huge subsidy amount which the government gives. Either you buy a two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So in both the segments you get. So even in renewable energy kind of sources of equipment, wherein you have the solar or one, you can actually tie with the government to give subsidies. So, and then, one of the very important aspects they mentioned was monitor your progress. The goal is to get more and more customers, get the right persona of the customer. So, right persona is basically you are trying to target the right user customers. Social media is very critical for data collection. What media our target consumers are using, how much time they are on social media. So, it's very easy to say that, one of the channel is social media. I'll leverage social media. So even in social media, you have got Facebook, you have got Instagram and whatnot. But then it's also important that whether these people are using these channels, how frequently they are using, and what kind of content they are consuming. Is it the reels they are consuming? Is it the post they are consuming? Is it they're uploading, they're busy in uploading, or they are also doing shopping there? Now, once you get all this understanding, then it is wise to develop your social media strategy. And this was one of the examples which were given by Professor Love. Clearly says that this is a profile for student and for a coffee shop marketing persona. Now, if you see, you've got basic heads as background, which talks about the demography, age, marital status, location. Then comes the financial background. What are the online behaviors? What kind of platforms they are using? What she's looking for? What influences her? And what are the brand which she relates with. Then comes the hopes and dreams, the worries and fears, what can make her life easier, and then a typical day, a day in a life of that. So early mornings, late nights, she goes to school all day. She has a cat that keeps grounded with a sense of responsibility. She's a carefree college student. Her house is never in order. So, all these set of information, is basically around this particular persona. And this will help you understand, your user, which is very important. Okay. Once you have this persona, well detailed, well elaborated, it will be very easier for you to develop your strategies of connecting with them, of, reaching out to them and converting it into a delivery. And then there can be different customer segments with very specific needs. Young professional who are health conscious. If you remember, he also proposed a pitch saying for the solar hour. So he suggested a pitch to Avinash that young professionals who started to see the signs of lifestyle diseases are always looking for options to have healthy meals. Okay. Now see how beautifully they have crafted it. So they have targeted it to one particular user group, which is the young professionals. Signs of lifestyle diseases. So obesity and diabetes, these are all part of lifestyle diseases. And looking for options of healthy meals, preferably home cooked for themselves, for their kids. So themselves and for their kids. So you're covering the young families, young parents as well, covering the kids as well, and have an increasingly hygiene conscious after COVID. So hygiene is something which all of us are really worried about, especially in the context of food. Our solar cooker provides a healthy meal by preserving nutrients due to slow cooking without supervision. So slow cooking means because you've got the box, you've got your food items here. Basically, grays are coming, getting trapped, and cooking the food. Right? That's your solar, just a typical diagram for solar cooker. So it uses slow cooking. So in LPGs, you have got a knob by which you can make it the cooking very fast. But this does not have a knob. It is basically through the heat trapping, the food is getting cooked. So that's there. Avoid waiting for the meals to be cooked when you get home from work. Right. So this is so interesting because you can actually keep the food item inside and let it cook. So by the time you come home, the food will be already prepared. It also saves your LPG expenses to the tune of 40 to 50%. And that's a huge difference as you can cook majority of your food on sooner preferred. So that's again a significant difference on expenses. And while going through the IIT Hyderabad students' work, he suggests few things to understand the customer, what do they care about, and how much do they care. And then he listed a very interesting scale of problem recognition. So latent problem, which means they have a problem but they don't know it. Passive problem, they know the problem but aren't motivated or aware of the opportunity to change. So latent is that they have a problem but they don't. इनको problem है but उनको ही ये नहीं पता है कि उनको ये problem है. Passive problem is something that उनको पता है ये problem है but वो they aren't motivated or aware of the opportunity to change. Active problem is wherein they recognize a problem and are searching for a solution. उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं कि कुछ ऐसा मिल जाए बट उनको अभी तक मिला नहीं. And vision, They have an idea to solve the problem and even cobble together a homegrown solution but are prepared to pay for it. So they have a problem, they recognize it, they have come up with a homegrown solution, कुछ है उनके पास ऐसा जो उसको एड्रेस कर सकता है, बट अगर उससे कुछ अच्छा मिलता है तो दे आर रेडी टू पे फॉर इट. So it's very interesting, and I think in all your projects, if you have something like this, it can really help you in your problem identification. So find the customers who have the sharpest need. Visionary customers have a very sharp need. They will attempt to solve their own problem even before a proper solution is found. Right? So these customer, these segment is very critical because they recognize the problem and they also try to address it. Do not present your ideas on the basis of solution technology. So one of the groups said that they would want to leverage the use of VR and then come up with something. So Dr. Lobson said that instead of going about the technology way, go by a problem way. So focus on the problem. जो इश्यू है उसको आप एड्रेस करो and solution can utilize the problem. Solution, sorry, can utilize the technology. Correct. Figure out when the design intervention should occur. To understand this, you must understand the entire journey of customer. Okay, this is very, very critical. So for one of the groups, he said that the problem is not clear. Identify the problem. You must be providing a solution or service to real demonstrated problems. Investors need to see a real opportunity. So for a business startup to exist, to retain and to flourish, you need funding. Funding is provided by the investors, and the investors need to see what value you are bringing in customers' life. Now comes the additional learning materials. This case study is a form of PDF. You can have a look. Then you have a link at YouTube on what customer discovery is by Steve Blank. And there is another video by Steve Blank that talks about the customer discovery part. So these are the three options which are available to you. You can go through it, you can understand it in much better way. Okay. So before we start with our session of set of two questions, let's take a quick break. Meanwhile, what you can do is you can actually read the question and try to answer the question. All right. Let's take a break. Let's just check. So we will just wait for like 1 or 2 minutes. We'll take a very quick break and we'll come back and we'll continue. Right? All right, so we are here once again, and we have arrived at the set of 10 questions. So, the first question is: what are the key objectives of setting up DSSE, which is the Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship at IIT Bombay? So, it is DSSE के key objectives क्या हैं? So every organization, when they set up, they have certain vision, mission, and tips how they are going to help people, how they are going to meet the user needs. And so basically, we are trying to identify the key objectives of DSSE. Right. So the options are to give structure and support to early stage entrepreneurs, to provide funding for startups, to provide mentorship with experienced entrepreneurs from the alumni pool, and to build a strong alumni network and derive peer learning among the cohort members. These are the options. You can take time, you can try to understand and absorb the question and then attempt this question in a way so that it's easier to understand. There are four options to give structure and support to early stage entrepreneurs से आपको मतलब है कि the ones who have conceptualized their idea, they have probably some prototype, and then they want to go full-fledged into it. They require some help with the mentorship. They require some help in structuring their uh, you know uh, the entire proposition, and then some support to provide funding for startups. Money is very critical component for the startup to survive. So is team and your value proposition. But funding remains critical because that helps you stay afloat. Okay. Provide mentorship with experienced entrepreneurs from the alumni pool. So mentorship is where it's basically about guidance, and then to build a strong alumni network and derive peer learning. Peer learning is wherein, say, for example, there are multiple entrepreneurs and then they are helping each other. So they might be working in different areas and domains, but they can actually learn from each other. And then a strong alumni network. So those alumni is basically the passouts. Correct. So let's see what we have from the content recap. So DSSC helps early stage support to entrepreneurs. It also helps in the mentoring, and it also helps develop alumni network as well as promoting the peer-to-peer learning. So the correct answer is to give structure and support to early stage entrepreneurs, provide mentorship with experienced entrepreneurs from the alumni pool, because you know IIT Bombay, they've been existed since very long, and the alumni is working for so many different companies across the globe. So their experience can actually help the early stage entrepreneurs in making the right decisions, well informed decisions. And finally, to build a strong alumni network and derive peer learning among the cohort members. Okay. तो peer learning के लिए भी और एक strong alumni network भी बनाना है. So the correct answers are A, C, and D. You have been able to identify them. It's great. Well done. Let's go to our second question. What is the goal of DSSE? Again, DSSE is Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship. Just we call it Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship. in level one 3 month program. So we have programs for multiple levels. For level one, they have a 3 month program for which they are asking the goal to make the idea successful for the team and take it forward, to make startups successful by offering initial funding, to make the team successful in implementing how to do customer discovery and all of the above. Okay. So again, it's a radio button question, which means only one correct answer. We are asking the goal of this, I say three. Make idea successful, to make the startup successful, to make the team successful, and all of the above. थोड़ा समय ले सोचे इस बारे में, what will be the correct answer, and let me know. Either you can WhatsApp me, or sorry, not WhatsApp, you can text me and the Google Meet text box option. आप यहाँ पे मैसेज कर सकते हैं, or you can unmute yourself and you can, you know, tell me. We are basically asking the goal of DSSC, Decisive School of Entrepreneurship. ऑप्शंस है कि ये हेल्प करते हैं आइडिया को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में, ये स्टार्टअप्स को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में हेल्प करते हैं बाय ऑफरिंग इनिशियल फंडिंग, तो इनिशियल सपोर्ट पैसे का देते हैं, टू मेक द टीम सक्सेसफुल इन इम्प्लीमेंटिंग हाउ टू डू कस्टमर डिस्कवरी, तो टीम को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में हेल्प करते हैं। प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड ना, यहाँ पे आइडिया सक्सेसफुल बनाने की बात हो रही है, यहाँ पे स्टार्टअप सक्सेसफुल बनाने की बात हो रही है, और यहाँ पे टीम को सक्सेसफुल बनाने की बात। So in each of the option, somebody is making someone successful, but what is the correct answer is something which you have to look around. All right. So let's see. I mean, they talked about two programs. One is the level one program, which is a 3 month program, and then there is a level two program, which is a 12-month program. Right. तो लेवल वन जो प्रोग्राम है वो 3 महीने का होता है, एंड बेसिकली आइडियाज विद डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव, एंड दे प्लान वीकली सेशंस। जबकि लेवल टू में दे टारगेट दीज कस्टमर्स एंड दे स्टार्ट delivering concept. There could be a question on level one as well as level two. Okay. Understand it's 3 months and it's a 12-month program or 1 year. And the goal is not to make ideas successful. Take a different colored pen, it's not that easy, but to make the team successful. देखिए, अब बात यहाँ हो रही है कि हम टीम को सक्सेसफुल बनाएं, and then successful team can make successful and develop successful products and ideas. All right, so understand the key difference here. They are not here to make the idea successful. They are here to make the team successful. आपकी टीम को कैसे सक्सेसफुल बनाए, उसमें ये हेल्प करते हैं, and this especially happens in the level one program. Okay. Now, if anybody could tell me, what this is, what do you see in this particular image? What is it? Just think around and tell आपको दिख क्या रहा है? What is it that you see? There are two things which you can see here. Somebody can say, I can see two faces. So this, if you see from here, this is phase one, and this is phase two. Where this is the nose, this is the mouth, right? But somebody can say what I say the flower. It's flower pot. Now, basically, these types of drawings utilize the principles of figure ground, okay? Wherein the negative space or the white space also tells you a story or a image. All right. So, so when you see, you have two versions of what you see. It's basically the figure ground. It's a play of positive and negative space. It's just for your benefit. However, from a question perspective, if you see, the correct answer is to make the team successful. You know, team को successful बनाते हैं in implementing how to do customer discovery. So correct answer is C. Let's move ahead. Question number three. What was the initial target user for designing the solar one as mentioned by Avinash? Now, Avinash again is the IIT Bombay alumni who does his MTech project and is now currently in the Ideas program trying to develop this solar one. तो इनिशियल टारगेट यूजर कौन था सो व्हेन दे स्टार्टेड डिजाइनिंग उनका एक यूजर ग्रुप था तो वी आर आस्किंग द इनिशियल इनिशियल मतलब कि सबसे पहला फर्स्ट वन इनिशियल टारगेट यूजर your options are people in the rural areas, residents in two tier cities of India, residents living in bungalows, and high-rise building residents who live in urban areas. दो चीजें होती हैं वन इज रूरल वन इज अर्बन अर्बन हम बेसिकली शहरों को कहते हैं और जो गांव होते हैं वो हम तो जो गांव ग्रामीण इलाके में जो लोग रह रहे हैं उनके लिए हम या टियर टू सिटीज सो यू हैव गॉट tier 1 tier 2 tier 3 cities that's the typology we are discussing about tier 2 cities resident living in bungalows bangla bada ghar and then high rise residents who live in urban areas so high rise would be multi-story structures high rise इसका तो नाम वैसे पड़ा हाई राइज से बिकॉज देयर इज अ हाई राइज बट इट्स बेसिकली मल्टी स्टोरी स्ट्रक्चर्स and these are basically residential towers भी बोल सकते हैं आप they have multiple floors stacked all together खासकर आप दिल्ली एनसीआर जैसे रीजन्स में आप देखोगे मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन्स को देखोगे विद लेसर ground space available so basically horizontal expansion होता है जब घर बनते हैं और जब वो घर कंज्यूम हो जाते हैं जब लैंड हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सपेंशन नहीं होगा था तब हम वर्टिकल एक्सपेंशन शुरू करते हैं so when you have all these setups here तो आपके पास स्कोप नहीं रहता है so what you do is you start building the high rise और फिर high rise बना देते और उसमें multiple families can be accommodated फ्लोर निकालते हैं balconies निकालते हैं so that they get access to fresh air have better views okay so that is called a high rise so let's see what Yes. So their initial target users or people living in the multi-story apartments. So if you can see, these are multiple floors, and in each floor there could be around 3 to 4 families. You can see blocks here, blocks here, blocks here. Similarly, blocks here, blocks here, blocks here. And they said that, can they leverage the slot of window AC or the windows? So normally these will have windows, and if they can leverage this window space to get the oven installed. So the correct answer to this is highlights building. ठीक है उन्होंने इनिशियल जो आपका जो इनिशियल टारगेट बिल्डर था वो ये था and eventually what happened, then slowly they decided to go with low income and middle income groups. Then comes your question number 4. According to Professor Lavsari, where should an entrepreneurial journey ideally begin? Lavsari जो आपके डॉक्टर हैं और देसाई स्कूल सिटी स्कूल ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में काम कर रहे हैं, उनके हिसाब से entrepreneurial जर्नी आइडियली शुरू कब होती है? When does it start? Options are, it should start with the idea. क्या वो आइडिया से शुरू होता है या वेरी ब्रिलियंट आइडिया तभी से आपका शुरू हो जाता है entrepreneurial जर्नी? Yeah, it starts with the team. So you've got multiple members, diverse of team members there, and you form a team. You start with the elevator pitch. You have some concept, you have some idea, you start with the pitch. And then it should start with MVP, which is minimum viable product. So take some time, try to understand the question, and then we will be addressing it. Entrepreneurial journey ideally शुरू कब होती है according to Dr. Lobster. Think about it. He has mentioned this in the Big Four content, and we will be able to address it as well. So सोचिए इस पे. All right, all right. So if you see, he suggests that it should start with a team, and in the previous week's content, we realized that it's better to have a four-member team. So team is very critical. You have a good team, you will develop a good idea. Build idea with the team. Idea आपका अच्छा निकलेगा if you have a diverse member group, and it will help you to generate brilliant idea altogether. The correct answer is You should start with a team. So, according to Professor Lafsarine, an idea basically the entrepreneurial journey begins with formation of team. Okay, well done. Let's go to our fifth question. The question says in module 4, the solar oven was developed to cater the needs of which kind of customers after the food festival in Ahmedabad? So he mentioned that there was a food festival wherein, you've got lots of chaos, lots of people who came in and they also displayed their solar oven. And then there were lots and lots of people who came up with the curiosity, when can we see, when can we, get that product. So the options are for below poverty line group, low income group, middle income group, for employees living government accommodation. So the term uses BPL, which stands for below poverty line. So they basically get BPL cards to avail the subsidies and the government subsidies and facilities of reduced pricing. That's there. Low income group, middle income group, and people living in government accommodations. So these could be people from uh, CBRI or PMO or state government servants. So there could be a number of profiles which can basically fit into government accommodation. So this was the festival they're referring to. If you can see, that's basically Mr. Avinash. If you see, this is the solar one. And here they are pitching it as a sunrise, pitching it as rice cooker. If you see, our solar oven helps middle and lower income group in semi-urban and rural areas. So this is their product. So since it's a multi-select question, the correct answers are low income group and middle income group. Okay. So solar oven was developed to cater the needs of lower income group and middle income group. The question can also come in terms of the region. So if you see here, the regions are semi-urban and rural areas. All right. So it can come with respect to the user group, which also includes lower middle. And so if there's an option of lower middle, you can also select that. And from a region perspective, rural areas and semi-urban areas. See, so the question can also come from a region perspective. Okay, so that's also important that you take into consideration from a क्वेश्चन perspective. इस तरह का सवाल आ सकता है आपके लिए. All right. All right. Let's proceed ahead. According to Professor Love Sareem, the business pitch of a product may be understood in terms of sustainability offered by the product in terms of material cost, technology of the product to produce fast results, the value proposition of the product offers to the user, and the durability of product in terms of build quality. Okay. तो पहला है sustainability offered, फिर है technology of the product to produce fast results, the value proposition which it offers to the user, and the durability of the product in terms of build quality. Coming back to the question is the business pitch of a product may be understood in terms of these are the four options: sustainability, technology, value proposition, and durability. If we see from a content perspective, what was mentioned, what was highlighted, it was the value proposition because it's very important to the user and different users have different motivations. So the correct answer is C, the value proposition product offers to the user. Coming to our seventh question. According to Avinash, what could be the basic motivation for target users to use the solar oven for their daily cooking? हाँ? The basic motivation क्या हो सकता है? To have a healthier alternative to fast cooking, to reduce the expenditure. यहाँ पे प्राइस की बात हो रही है, प्राइस कॉस्ट. यहाँ पे हेल्थी ऑल्टरनेटिव की बात हो रही है. टेस्ट ईस्ट टेस्टियर स्लो कुक फूड, यहाँ पे कुकिंग स्टाइल की बात हो रही है कि हाउ स्लो कुकिंग कैन हेल्प रिटेन the nutrients, and then all of the above. सारे options. Think a little while on this. क्या हो सकते हैं, क्या कारण हो सकते हैं? Basic motivation for the target users to use solar oven for their daily care, to have healthier alternative, स्वास्थ्य की दृष्टि से अच्छा विकल्प, to reduce the expenditure, price and cost, to eat tastier slow cooked food, slow cooking क्योंकि टेस्ट भी एक फैक्टर है, और इट हेल्प्स रिटेन न्यूट्रिएंट्स बिकॉज फास्ट कुकिंग में वो न्यूट्रिएंट्स इतना रिटेन नहीं कर पाते हैं. एंड देन ऑल ऑफ द So if you see, price was a major factor क्योंकि एलपीजी की कॉस्ट जो है वो बढ़ रही है, and people found it to be little difficult in their current salary structure, और जो कमा पा रहे हैं उसका एक मेजर कंपोनेंट खाने में जा रहा है, which is where the cost has become very critical in their lives. So the correct answer is to reduce the expenditure on LPG gas. So it is could be the basic motivation. Right? Correct answer is B. आगे चलते हैं. Question 8. What kind of channels Avinash is willing to use to reach out to the customers in the rural areas? ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों, as seen in the solar oven case study. Through direct distribution, through Government of India schemes for renewable energy, through NGOs. NGOs are basically non-government organizations, through social influencers. है ना? आपने देखा होगा कि इंस्टाग्राम पे यू गेट अ लॉट ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंसर्स. Okay, what kind of channels, Avinash? So Avinash is basically IIT Bombay alumni who was working on solar oven. ठीक है, सोलर ओवन की बात हो रही है, और ये हम कस्टमर्स की बात कर रहे हैं कि हम किस माध्यम से ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के अपने कस्टमर्स को रीच आउट कर सकते हैं. क्या हम डायरेक्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन से कर सकते हैं, क्या हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की स्कीम से कर सकते हैं, क्या हम उन एनजीओ को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं जो रूरल डेवलपमेंट में काम कर रहे हैं, और क्या हम सोशल इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को यूज कर सकते हैं. Alright. So again, it's the check box, which means multiple correct answers. Alright. यानी कि एक से ज्यादा जवाब आपके सही हैं. Let's see the snapshot. You can see a lot of women around, and they are using the which one is this solar cooker? This is basically the box type solar cooker. Why do we say box type? अगर आप देखोगे तो ये बेसिकली एक बॉक्स है, एंड इट हैड अ ग्लास टेल, और उसके पीछे वो एक रिफ्लेक्टर होता है. सो द रेज वुड गो हियर एंड देन इनसाइड एंड गेट ट्रैप्ड. Channels. Let's take a different colored pen, probably green one. All right. Through which channels do our customer segment want to be reached? One is direct distribution. So if I am the vendor and directly give it to the people. So I might be in a shop, I might have a direct sale out counter and वहां से मैं दे सकता हूँ लोग आए खरीदे and it's a basic transaction with money और KVK which is कृषि विज्ञान के फिर है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया schemes for renewable energy and institutes and NGOs in their rural development and RE and sustainability. So these are the four channels which they were talking about. Options are A, B, and C. Why not social influences? What basically we mean here is uh, social media. All right. If you see, we are talking about customers in the rural areas. Okay, ग्रामीण क्षेत्र की बात हो रही है गांव गांव ग्रामीण क्षेत्र की बात हो रही है तो वहां पे सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंस उतने ज्यादा इफेक्टिव नहीं होंगे इट मे बी इफेक्टिव इन योर youngsters the youth group the correct answers are through direct distribution which is one on one through government of India schemes and through NGOs working for the rural development ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के विकास में जो काम कर रहे हैं उन एनजीओ में सोशल मीडिया और सोशल इन्फ्लुएंसर जो है वो हमारे दूसरे सेगमेंट में काम कर सकता है बट नॉट फॉर द केस ऑफ रूरल एरियाज ऑलराइट सो दैट्स देयर we'll be going ahead with our ninth question. Dr. Love Sarin suggested a pitch to Mr. Avinash for solar oven, which was about Dash, who started to see the sign of Dash diseases, are always looking for options to have Dash. Now, it's a little different kind of a question. It has multiple blank options. However, if you see the typology of questions need to be answered with, it is the radio button question, which means only one correct answer. Alright. तो अगर आपको याद होगा if you're able to recall डॉक्टर लव सरीन ने सजेस्ट किया था अविनाश को कि कैसे आप सोलर ओवन के अराउंड एक पिच प्रपोज कर सकते हैं एंड ही गेव हिज ओन impression or thought what could be the proposed pitch. So he suggested a few options. There was one particular case which he really elaborated on. The options are it was for young professionals who have started seeing the signs of lifestyle diseases and are looking for options to have healthy meals. The other could be it was about startup founders who started to see signs of heart diseases and looking for options to have vegan meals. And then you have elderly who started to see the signs of age-related diseases and are looking for healthy meals option. And then the athletes who have started to see the signs of chronic lifestyle diseases and looking for options to have sugarless meals. So you've got four options in which you've got four different user group along with four different disease patterns and then four, or rather three meal options. Anybody who would want to tell what could be the right answer? We are discussing the pitch which Professor Sareen suggested to Mr. Avinash for the Gulbarga case. Let's see the snapshot. The pitch was for young professionals. Let's change the color. Young professionals who started to see the signs of lifestyle diseases. Right? It's very important, So it's the young professionals who are actually identifying that, okay, we are also getting involved up by the lifestyle diseases, are always looking for options to have healthy meals. I'm just trying to highlight the correct answer. I would suggest you guys to please read the sentence a couple of times so that you will be able to understand what we are saying. So these were the three blanks: young professionals, lifestyle diseases, and healthy meals. So, six, young professionals start seeing the signs of lifestyle disease and looking for options to have healthy meals. Okay. So option A is the correct one. Let's come to our last question. According to Professor Love Sareen, how will we keep, and grow customers as discussed in the solar urban case study? The options are focus on material, focus on technology, initiate and improvise conversations with the people, and improvise product facilities. तो यहाँ पे बात हो रही है टू फोकस ऑन मटेरियल, किस मटेरियल का वो प्रोडक्ट बना हुआ है. यहाँ पे बात हो रही है टू फोकस ऑन टेक्नोलॉजी. यहाँ पे बात हो रही है टू बेसिकली फोकस ऑन पीपल, ट्राई टू conversate with them, try to have a dialogue with them. एंड इधर बात हो रही है प्रोडक्ट फैसिलिटीज की. हाउ विल यू गेट, कैसे आपको कस्टमर्स मिलेंगे, कैसे आप उनको रिटेन करेंगे, कैसे आप कस्टमर्स ग्रो करेंगे. All these critical aspects have been discussed in the solar oven case study. It could be achieved by focusing on material or technology or people or proving the product facilities. These are the four options. Now let's see. Okay. So the options are monitor your progress. The goal is to get more and more customers, get the right persona of the customer. Now see what is highlighted here is customer. social media is very critical for data collection, again, customers. Correct answer, it's already here. It's initiate and improvise conversations with people. लोगों से वार्तालाप करें. Correct answer is C. Initiate and improvise the conversations with the people. All right. So with that, we basically end our set of 10 questions. We've got 1 to 10 questions covered up. And these were the questions for discussion forum, which we have already answered in the previous sessions. So, धन्यवाद आप सभी का. And before we end the session, what we'll do is we will quickly show you. Let's just close it. All right. So before we end the session, let me just mention that I do understand that the learners have their own schedules. Time is a critical factor for them. They have their own assignments. They have their own probably mid-semester, end-semester examinations, which I completely understand. And even the professionals who had been attending this course, उनके लिए भी काफी कठिन होगा कि they are able to join each and every live session. But having said that, I believe that it's always good to be a part of these sessions because that also acts as a motivator for me, to come with the content, come with fresh perspective, come with and develop and show you these questions so that it aids in your understanding and it helps you in the प्रिपरेशन ऑफ योर कोर्स प्रिपरेशन ऑफ योर फाइनल एग्जामिनेशन राइट. तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि मैं आपको हर हफ्ते आके चीज़ों को एक्सप्लेन करूँ समझाऊँ और इन 10 सवालों के सहारे से मैं आपसे कंटेंट और अच्छे से कन्वे कर पाऊँ. आई प्रिपेयर यू फॉर योर फाइनल एग्जाम. आई प्रिपेयर यू फॉर द different types of questions which can come in your final exam, right? So I am doing my bit of an effort and I would request कि आप लोग भी if you get time, please do join. Obviously these are not compulsory or mandatory sessions, but these are basically to help you out, to guide you. And I am always there to help you. You can use discussion forum, you can use the Google Meet links, and get your questions and queries answered. I'll be very, very happy, to help you. In fact, I'll be happy to share my own startup journey and, what were the wrong decisions which I took that, I could not take it forward. But that also requires an audience, to question it and to, understand and, achieve from it, right? So all that is there. But what's important is that you understand your content, you submit your weekly assignments, and you prepare well for the final examination, right? Before we close the session, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the Swim portal platform because as I've said in the previous sessions, every session is important. Every session, there might be a new learner coming up. So our intent is that even if you're coming for the first time, you're able to get the maximum of it. You don't feel like you have missed out on it. Obviously, the week-wise content is something which is not in my control because every week we focus on one particular content set and we try to, address the questions in that way, right? So apart from that, the protocol slides, the slide deck, it's all there, it's all present there. So from in any one of the sessions, you can actually understand the entire structure of the presentation. Right. So let's get back to the SWEM portal. Uh, Let me just share my screen because it's not shared, so you won't be able to see it as of now. Yeah, I believe now my screen would be visible. Yes. So this is your Swim portal. The moment you log in, you will start looking at the content. So these are the week-wise contents. Up till now, the content for week four is uploaded. However, the assignment for week four is there. It's due tomorrow. Today is 20th. Tomorrow is 21st. So I would request you to please submit this assignment. It's important for your evaluation, for your marking from a credit perspective, right? Uh, Please also explore these sections. So there is download videos. If you click here, uh, you can get a link like this from NPTEL, and once you click here, you get the entire week-wise content. So here probably you will be able to see all the week's content. It is not limited to 1 or 2 weeks. Here you have the entire week's content. If you have time, obviously you're most welcome. You can go ahead. However, it also has certain more aspects to it. You can download the assignments. That's the TL list. It's not that updated, but these are the statistics. How many people have enrolled courses up till now? So the previous course, it had been around 2018 to approximately 3,000. This is a good motivator because you can see these are the people who have scored great, and maybe there will be a time where your own photograph will come here, right? So please work and try to attempt your paper in a better way so that you also get a position here, and your name also picture gets displayed here. So that's my intent, basically, that the learners of this course perform so well that you can see here, which is here. These are the different certificate types which you get depending upon the marks you are getting. So this is the marks distribution, and you get marks according to it. Right. Let's go back here. You've got transcripts. So although they are in limited number, but then I believe it will help you to whichever transcript lectures are there, you can actually go through it and you can understand it. So it's in a PDF form, or उसको आप utilize कर सकते हैं. Then comes the lecture notes. When you click here, it will lead you to another link, which will lead you to a drive. Here you will get the entire lecture. For all 27 lectures are here, which you can explore. Okay. And then comes the problem solving section, which I mentioned above. When the moment you click here, you will get again a page with click here link. The moment you click it here, you will be directed to a spreadsheet, which includes, so if you see, these are the YouTube links for the previous sessions. All these are clickable. You will be able to understand and visit the past assignments. So like this is week 3, this is the week 2 one, this is week 1. You also get access to the presentation drive folder. Let me show by clicking here. You can see the 3 PDFs. So since 3 weeks have already gone by, these are the contents for the week 1 to week 3, right? So tomorrow you'll be able to see week 4 content as well, which you can have a look and download. The other things are basically from a NPTEL standpoint, where we are trying to capture, how many people are attending the sessions. Right. Also, I would request you to please share your feedback on this survey link. When you click here, you'll be able to see survey mail ID, and it's in the week wise, and how the sessions are helpful to you. And you can rate it on a Likert scale of 1 to 5. So these are basically called Likert scale questions. So you can share your feedback. It will be helpful for me and the NPTEL team. Right. So let's get back here. Start presenting. So with that, let me conclude the session. Once again, very thankful for NPTEL to provide such a platform where I can interact with lots of individuals, lots of students, professionals, and we can all meet and discuss remotely, right? So we have got a big benefit from the technology aspect. Let's see utilize it. Let's have more and better and improved learning. And let's take the best from this course on understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. And I believe that in times to come, a lot of learners will come out with flying colors and with their own startups, probably helping India grow. So with that, thank you so much. Namaste.